G'day everyone, it's Valinor000 here with some Motorsport Manager. Now this is going to be a bit of a strange one for anyone that has watched any of the videos in the past, because this is not generally the kind of game that we normally look at. That being said, it looks like it could be a bit of fun. So this is a game all about, I don't know whether to call it Formula 1 as such, but motor car racing. We're just going to fix up some of these. We are, of course, from Australia. Let's get a rough idea of the date of birth. Wow. I'm not very far down the list. So we are playing as Valinor000, because if we put just the actual numbers, it looks just really quite odd. The idea behind this game is simply that you are the manager for a motorsport racing team. There is two different types of vehicles at the moment. They are almost the F1 style. I know that's not quite right, but the low, sleek style, and also the GT racing. We'll get to that in a moment. So, at the moment we are just creating our manager. Create manager, define yourself, right there in the name. So basically, as far as I know, everything on the left here doesn't matter. Does not make a difference whatsoever. This here does matter. I mean, sorry, the appearance doesn't. This very much does. The backstory here. So, depending on which backstory you choose, it gives you different bonuses, such as, oh, they give you better feedback and the stat improvement rate is increased. So your drivers get better quicker, because you're an ex-driver, you get them. You get what they're trying to do. An ex-engineer, it takes less time to engineer new parts for your car. Also, this 8 days on average, rubbish. Actually, before we do that, I should point out, we are playing on medium session lengths, so 30 to 40 laps average. That will, of course, affect how our drivers do. It will affect what pit stops we need to make. A short one you might be able to get through with only one pit stop. A long one you'll have to take maybe 4 or 5. Medium one will do fine. And we're just going to put that in again. Oop. No. Typing today. It's actually really hard to type all that. And we're just going to have to do this again. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it would kick it out like that. So, we are probably going to be just a ex-driver. It is, I think, the strongest start. I've played a bit of this, so don't expect great things, because this lets you really tune up your cars to be perfect before each match. This is an ongoing fantastic thing. Part design is, look, it is really important. Good parts means good races. Payments, look, more money is good, because then you can spend more on cars and more on parts and more on better drivers. But look, they are all good. This one I don't think is the strongest. So basically there are rules that you can vote to change. You know, what is it? I think there's 4 votes in a season, in a 10 match season, 10 racing season thing. That being said, normally costs £1 million each. Not really. If you have this, it's free of charge, but they don't take effect immediately. They take effect at the start of the next season. So that's a very delayed. It can be very powerful. You can get all of the rules exactly like you want. But yeah, nah. I like this because it means that we're more in tune with our races. We are just going to fix up this a bit here. There we go. Perfect. How creepy can we make this look? Nope. Let's go for almost a Bob Ross style. Not full Bob Ross. There we are. Almost Bob Ross. Did Bob Ross wear glasses? Nope, okay, no glasses, I've been told. Alright, this is us. Let's do this. Oh no, hang on, there was a screen I missed. Maybe. Yes, okay. So we can choose to We can create a brand new team, which is very difficult from what I've seen. I haven't tried it myself, but the fact that you've got to sign everyone up, it's a long thing. We're going to take the reins of an existing team in the Tier 3 single-seater series. There we go. Single-seater series. Different cups have very, very different races. For example, these ones you can see, where was it? Races, 10 teams, 10 races. There we are, 6 locations. This one, 11 races, 9 locations, so there's more variation on things. And 16 events, still 10 teams though, really. Yeah, okay, it's 10 teams across the board. I thought there was more. But also the average quality of everything keeps rising. As you go higher, your cars get much more powerful. V6, V8, V10, you know. We're going to start with the European Racing Series for one very specific reason, and that is there is one team in there that we want to make the best. You've also got the GT Series here, which is a twin seat thing. Basically, they also have a completely different mechanic, which is the energy recovery system. Apparently, it's very interesting to play. I haven't played it. We're going to go in the Tier 3 racing because it's a bit nicer. There are different rules depending on exactly which one you go for. And okay, here we go. So we have the choice of, 10 different set teams, starting at Garuda Racing, who is expected to finish first, all the way to Predator Racing Group, who's expected to finish 10th. This is who we're going to be playing as. The mighty Australian racing team, who is literally the worst in the world. Which works out quite well. There's low pressure, we're not expected to, be fantastic at everything. Low pressure, low budget, unfortunately. Literally the worst at everything. So that sounds like a good place to start for us. Now, this is going to be an uphill climb, definitely. The Predator Racing Group. So there's really 2 different games built into this game. There's the out-of-race management, and then there's the in-race management. And they are 2 very, very, very different games. Wait for it to autosave. Excellent. And this is going to be an interesting thing to balance whether or not we display both, or, whether we just... Yeah, this is going to be an interesting thing. So this is our home, our dashboard. This shows us all of the quick information. For example, we've got 2 drivers to start with. We have Santa Ana, sure, and Evans. Ana and Evans. Evans is slightly older, yeah. Slightly older, he's pretty poor across the board, unfortunately. He's decent at cornering, well, he's alright at cornering, I guess, at best. Ana is much better in comparison. Also costs us more. Cost per race is higher. Yeah, much higher. And she's got a bit of potential. Those stars there show how much potential she's really got. So she can keep getting better. Evans has almost hit his peak, and it's not going to... He's not great. He's never going to be great. That's fine. We can fix that soon. We also have a nice little thing going on. The graphics in this are beautiful. We have the Chairman's Happiness, who basically, as long as he's happy, we're kept on the team. We have our team stats in comparison to everyone else. So, for example, our headquarters, well, our car, our drivers, our headquarters, our staff, and our sponsors are all pretty shit. Pardon the French there. This will come to in a minute. This will come to in a minute. The standings, everyone's got 0 points, and it shows us when our next race is. Let's click across. So, we can go back and edit our appearance. We do have stats, internal stats. So, for example, the better we handle money, our people, and our races, the more stats we do. I'm not actually certain what they do for us, though. I presume that just means it's either for brownie points, or It's so that we can switch jobs like, hey look, Silver Racing, he's uneasy, we could apply for his job. Is Martino? Yeah. Career history, you can see not much going on there, no trophies, no nothing. We have an email system, which is beautiful, a lot of different filters over here. Basically, these we probably won't see much of. There are certain ones which are urgent. Pardon me, urgent though. Those we will be looking at. So we've got, he's our assistant, one of our drivers, our lead designer, our scout, you know, all pretty good. And our chairman. So we can say, alright, it's the start of the season, people are expecting to see us in 10th. That's kind of painful, but we could also say, hey, we could aim for 8th. 8 out of 10, remember. We're not aiming for the stars here. We just literally need to get a little better than everyone else. I think we can do that. This will give us more money. If we don't get that, I think it's a problem, but we'll get that. We'll cross that when it comes. So that means that our income per race is a little bit better than it would have been otherwise. I can't remember how much we actually make off that, but not by much. So this very first setup is going to take a little bit longer than all the others, because we have to go through and get everything sorted for all of our cars. So what we can do is, there's 2 main ways of improving cars. Yeah, that is right. Well, 3, sorry. The third one doesn't come up until the end of the season. But basically you can design new parts, and you can improve the current parts that you have. So we're going to start by designing a new part. Actually, no. Let's have a look at the list of parts. For example, our brakes are horrible. Absolutely horrible. So this shows you the performance. In the brackets is the maximum, and there are some of them that we cannot touch because they are built in by the rules. We have to use them. So we have better brakes, engines, gearbox, and suspension we need to worry about. At the moment, everything is pretty atrocious. Our suspension is arguably not bad, but I think we're going to need new brakes and new engines pretty soon. For the minute, what we can do is tell them, okay, our current parts, improve the performance, and improve the reliability. Let's just balance that a little more, so that, you know, both get done. Now, they do have a maximum. This gearbox is kind of atrocious anyway. But this one can get up to 41. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than what it is. 0.2, 0.2, 0.4, 0.1. Let's get a little bit more weighted towards the performance. I'm just looking at these numbers here. When you switch the 2 staffs, one's better than the other. So we just want to make sure our gearboxes do a bit better than normal. Engines and brakes, we are definitely going to design a new one though. You can see in the next one, the engine is crucial. Well, I think the engine is basically crucial no matter what. But it costs £1.5 million to actually build it. We don't quite have the balance there yet. Let's come back to that one in just a moment. So, that is everything we can do there for the minute. You can see how we've fit everything. The people are generally not that happy with their vehicles, which I completely understand because they're all really kind of rubbish. At least the high and low speed corners we're sorted on. So, elsewhere we have our HQ where we can build new things, which is really neat. One of the things we will want to look at doing, I say relatively soon, £8 million in the future, is the upgraded factory so that we can improve those parts and build new ones that much better. We also have other things in here. The chairman, he of course is kind of locked in, but we can, for example, swap out our drivers, our designer. We also have a spare driver, I should mention, just in case something happens to Evans. Not Anna. She's staying there. Just Evans. And our race mechanics who improve the vehicles as they are. We can also look at other people. You can see immediately quite a bit better, but we're fine. At least we're happy. He's not. We also have a marketability down here, which is the better sponsorship deals and things like that. Where are we? Our drivers, like I said, we can really check them out. We can actually scout for new drivers, which we will get to in a moment. We can also scout for new staff. We might want to get, for example, a better designer. You're not fantastic, actually. We may want to get... Oh yeah, pit stops. Pit stops... Chemistry and pit stops. Okay, we might actually want to look at replacing this race mechanic at some point. His contract is another 34 months though, so maybe not this season. Scouting, what we are going to do is, simply put, bop, bop. We don't need to scout any of the designers? Okay, what about the mechanics? We don't need to scout. Okay, this is basically just telling this guy, hey, go, like, sneak around their base for a little bit. Our finances are just atrocious. We can request additional funds, but not yet. Also, I really shouldn't click that because he's not going to get happy with me. He's going to be less happy with me. We have a few important things in here. This big one, this £700,000 per race cost, is actually putting money away for the future. That's putting money away so that next year, when we go to build a brand new car, we have some cash. We can actually set that higher or lower. I think we're just going to leave it where it is. £945,000. We can duck that up a little bit, and you can see that drops that down to 645. We need the cash pretty much straight up. We'll get to that. The big money maker is, of course, the sponsorship deals. This we're not going to pick yet, only because we do have a little bit of time before our first... Oh, actually, I say that. I want to get a part being built, so I need the money. Second or above, that is never going to happen. We will come back to that shortly. Standings, obviously, race, who's leading, who's not, individual drivers, teams. We can see the current rules, which there is a lot of. We're not going to go into all of those, but there is a lot of rules there. And we also have the event calendar, expected forecast, things like that. You can see our practice is going to be cloudy. The race should be nice and bright and sunny, which is cool. Different races do have different tires, which I didn't realize there was so many different types of Formula 1 tires. Motorsport tires until I started playing these kind of games. So we're just going to accelerate time. We've got, 16 days until the big race. Now, it will stop us for any important events, which, hey, look, an important event. Would you look at that? It's almost like I've played this before. Now, we do have an interview with the World Sports Network. This is going to be a big one. We've certainly picked a tough task for your first job. It's not that tough. Let's see. Are we expecting to pick up many points at all? We're going to surprise a few people. Quietly confident that we'll manage a few decent finishes. It'll be a struggle. Winning a few points would be wonderful and would make such a difference to our budget. How we answer these does affect our marketability and the morale of all of our drivers and people. I'm quietly confident. Okay, they like that. There you go. Extra morale. Anna is seen by the fans as our top driver. Yeah, okay. Do we agree with that, or would we say, well, we don't want to piss off old Evans here? But Anna is definitely the better driver. That's a big transfer, though. In the World Sports Network season preview, I wrote that you're expected to finish 10th. Ouch. We can do better. We can do better. Okay, the chairman wasn't happy with that, but Anna says yes, we can. We all remember your time as a fan-favourite racer. See, this is because I was a ex-race car driver. Will we be able to transfer our skills to the management game? As long as the fans support me? Okay, nothing changed there. Thank you. Okay, and let's keep going. Now we have, Okay, so that was a new sponsorship deal. Over here in slot 5, an upfront payment. Yes, thank you. Let's take that. That is a nice, solid grand in the bank. I don't think we're going to be able to do an engine for this next race, because that's $1.5 grand. The gearbox we could start... No, wait, the gearbox is where we're improving. Is that right? The gearbox is where we're improving. The brakes we need to work on. Design new parts. Brakes. 500 grand. Okay, this we can do. Now, do we want to make it better overall? Wow, without that, that's 9? Damn, man. You are quite poor. At a max of 34. Actually, what is our current max? That would replace one of them. That's not fantastic, actually. I'm not... It would be nice to do so that we can get, for example, better overall, because once we finish these, then we can go to the next knowledge level and so on and so on. But that's, that's not fantastic, actually. I was kind of expecting more than that. Tell you what. Considering it's going to take us 6 days, and it's going to be probably in quite rubbish condition by the time it comes out, let's see if we can hold off and build a better engine straight out of the gate. We may be able to... Whoop, that sounded like a new sponsor offer. Here we go. Upfront payment. Ooh, we're almost going to get there. Fixed pay per race. No minimum? It's just, okay, sure. Yes, we will take it. We're almost there, but not quite. You don't offer... No, you don't offer an upfront payment. That we're probably never going to reach. Oh, we do have extra mail as well. Report, the Black Sea. 30 lap race, 2.6 miles. Likely some rain during the race. Okay. High speed circuit, strong engines. Yeah? Telemetry center. I'm not certain we can really afford that. Telemetry center, really? That's there. Well, we can't get that anyway. Sure. We'll come back to that one in a bit. And random people are gonna give up at the end. That's fine. So, whoops. That was interesting. Okay, so someone finished scouting, that's fine. Scouting report finished, that is perfectly okay. So our cars, we haven't started designing a new part. We will definitely be able to after this first race. Let me see how these gearboxes went. Actually, went pretty good. So we went from, what, like 3 and 1 or something, or 10, up to... Okay, that's a bit of an improvement. And more reliability, so hopefully we don't have to... Well, we don't break them partway through. So, up next is the big race. Do we think we can get 9th and above? No, not out of 20. 16th and above? Probably. We might be able to do that. We just need 2 people to crash and burn, and then literally we'll be fine. 4 bonus, including bonuses, yep, okay. And we can fit our parts. We don't have anything new to fit in here. Look at the engines, that is horrible. We really need to sort out the engines. Our gearboxes at least have been improved a little bit. I think we're going to go ahead and start the race. So what we'll be doing, at least for this first race, we will be splitting it into a different video, just so that people don't get fully worn out with... Oh, well, the races will take about maybe 20 minutes to half an hour each. Depends how in-depth we really go. Also, look at that. Isn't that just pretty? Crazy. In qualifying, the rubber level is all important. True. So there's a few things we have to go through with the races as well. So we've got a practice on the Friday, and then the race itself on a Sunday. Alright. So, what we're going to do is put a cut in here, and we'll see you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.